All right, so here I'm going to go into my first video talking about this weekend, my first solo overnight backpacking trip. So it's not a big deal. The total mileage is going to be less than 19 miles, so it's going to be less than 10 miles a day. But it is going to be my first time going out by myself into the wilderness, and I have not camped overnight since I was a teenager. Now, granted, I spent overnights when I was in the Marine Corps, yet I don't consider those camping. I never saw anything, I never went anywhere other than to exercises during peacetime when I was in the Marine Corps, but I did spend nights out in the field for exercises, but I don't consider that camping. So the last time I was really camping was actually sometime when I was in Boy Scouts in my early teens, which, my God, was like the early 80s. So this will be a very interesting experience, and I'm going to go through my loadout. Keep in mind, since my mileage is low and I'm only going overnight, I'm taking a lot of comfort items that I probably wouldn't take if I were going on like a 5-day backpacking trip or a long extended backpacking trip. So I feel that I can bear a little bit more weight since it's only going to be 2 days, and then I'm going to be fine and I'll be able to take that pack off and I won't have to worry about it. But so going to go over the stuff that I'm going to bring, and we'll see where that goes. So here we go. So here I have everything, piled up in my living room, and I guess it's not that easy to see, but I'm going to go close up more on these. I am actually using, this is an mid-2000s Marine Corps ILBE individual load-bearing equipment pack, which I have had loaded down with 55 pounds worth of gear for winter hiking, and it was very comfortable and I absolutely loved it. But this is going to be the first time in a couple of years that I've gone out with it, especially I haven't backpacked in it. So it'll be fun to experiment with that. So we have next to it here our hydration. I have a 3-liter Camelback water bladder, and I also have 2 quart canteens of water. You'll notice the one canteen has an aluminum canteen cup, which I will be doing my cooking and my coffee in the morning will be with that canteen cup. So if I move over to the other side, this is my REI Helios 55-degree bag. So it is summertime, it's very warm, so it's probably going to be in the 60s at night where I'm going up in the Poconos. So a 55-degree bag should be plenty, and it's very light and very compact, as you can see. Next to that, what you'll see is actually the bag that contains the tent poles for my Marmot tent, and I pulled them out of the bag that the Marmot tent came with because I could fold down and pack down that Marmot 2-person tent and footprint into a much smaller package without those tent poles in it. So those tent poles will probably be secured to the outside of my pack. You can see underneath that is a 1-inch foam pad or a 3/4-inch foam pad. I don't know how comfortable that's going to be, but that's the pad I used when I was in the Marine Corps. Next to that, you will see this Helinox, and that's one of my comfort items. That is a tiny, lightweight camp chair, and I have used it at a couple of events, and it is comfortable. It's small, but it's better than trying to sit on the ground or find some other rock or makeshift seat. Here, this is kind of interesting. So this is a bag full of balled up paper. It has been raining all day today. It's supposed to rain tomorrow morning up in the Poconos where I'm going. It is supposed to clear up, although being overcast. Yet I am hiking in a place called Thunder Swamp Trail, and half this hike is going to be in swampy conditions. So although my boots are Gore-Tex, and what you'll see here, you can't really see it in this, is I have a pair of full-length outdoor research gaiters, which I have waterproofed, and I will have those because of the swampy conditions. And these are Salomon Quest 4D Gore-Tex boots that are my hiking boots, which I absolutely love. I've had them for over a year and they've been fantastic. But if water gets in over the top of them, it can be a problem because they take forever to dry. And that goes back to why I have a bag full of dry newspaper in a plastic Ziploc bag so moisture can't get in. Because if I do get waterlogged boots, I can shove the newspaper into my boots and they will, in 12 hours overnight, they will mostly be dry. Next to that, I have a Lensatic compass and I have my map. Underneath that, what you'll see is I have a classic military e-tool, which is an entrenching tool. It's a shovel. Now, granted, it's a heck of a lot heavier than a synthetic trowel that a lot of people, a lot of backpackers use for digging cat holes when they have to go to the bathroom out in the wilderness. But I have it. I don't have to spend any extra money on a trowel, and it can work for a lot of other things that a trowel can't do, since it's larger and heavier and has more weight. And if I need it to do any other things, I do have it. So now I'll go back up here next to my hydration, and one of the things you'll see, which is really hard to see, is there. That's a little better. We can I can use my flash there, and you can see that is my K-bar. That is a full-size K-bar combat knife that I have sharpened very sharp, and it is one of the things that I use out when I'm in the wilderness. It's reliable. It's a full tang knife, which means it's very rugged and it can stand a lot of ill treatment. I can actually hack logs and things like that with it. Very reliable. Next to that, one of the things that you'll see here, this is a solar charger for my electronics. So I'm going to have this. I'm going to have my phone, which I'm actually going to keep in airplane mode while I'm out on the trail, because one of the things that drains battery in a phone the most is when it's searching for a signal that is hard to find or a weak signal is out there. So I'm going to keep it in airplane mode, which will give me access to, I showed before that I have a map and compass, but I also have that map downloaded onto my phone in a PDF. So I do not have to access the internet in order to get to it. And it will be an aid. I can zoom in on things, and it will help a lot with my navigation. So hopefully I will be able to charge things like my phone with this, but we'll see how it works in overcast conditions. So I may not end up having much phone on my second day, but it shouldn't be a problem since I'm only going to be out for 2 days. But we'll see how that works. I've never used that before, so that'll be interesting. Over here is my bear canister. I have all my food in my bear canister. Right now I even have my snacks in my bear canister because of one thing. I do not want to forget to put my snacks back in the bear canister at night because I don't want to have any sort of human food in my tent in the Poconos where there are black bear. I've seen black bear when I've been hiking up there, and if you look at any of the houses that are up in the Poconos, they all have cages over their garbage cans because of bear. So bear know human food, they know human waste. Inside my bear canister, I actually have hermetically sealed bags. So it's going to be double protected. I have one bag for waste products, like the food products that I eat. Rather than disposing of them, I'm going to carry them out with me, leave no trace, but I will be putting them in a hermetically sealed bag, and all my food is in a hermetically sealed bag, and my coffee, which is going to be important in the morning. And you may see the bells on top. Those are bear bells, which I'm going to attach to my pack, which alerts the wildlife of my presence, and most of the time that wildlife will avoid you. So as long as they know you're coming and you don't sneak up on them, you're more likely than not to avoid them because they'll avoid you. Next to that, this is my camera bag. So I have a digital SLR, a Pentax KX, and I have a couple of lenses with it. And what I'm hoping to do with that is I'm hoping to get some really good low light or nighttime pictures. I was hoping to be able to get a time-lapse picture of the Milky Way and all the stars, but it's supposed to be overcast, so I'm not sure that that's going to happen. But hopefully I can get some good pictures with that, as well as the pictures that I will take on my phone. Next to that, down here, you'll see a bag, and it has a lot of cables in it. Those are the cables for, I have here, you will see this is a tent lamp, and that's a rechargeable tent lamp. I have a headlamp, and that is a rechargeable, USB rechargeable headlamp. I have my phone, which is USB rechargeable as well, and all of that. So I've fully charged the headlamp and the tent lamp, and if I need to, hopefully the solar energy source will work, and hopefully with my phone the solar energy source will work. This REI bag that you see here, what that is a camp towel. It's a highly absorbent camp towel, which is very lightweight and will help me with picking up hot things off the fire, like if I put my canteen cup right in the fire to heat up some liquid or something like that. I can use that, and it's also for hygiene purposes. And speaking of hygiene, underneath my headlamp is a plastic bag with my hygiene products. It's toilet paper, toothpaste, toothbrush, and baby wipes. Next to that, what you'll see is survival and fire making equipment here. So there's a lot of things in here for making fire, even when wet, which will be the challenge tomorrow, is that everything's going to be wet. So we're going to see whether we can actually make a fire in very wet conditions. But I also have survival equipment there as well, a survival pack. Inside that, I have extra batteries in there for flashlights and things like that. I also have extra boot laces, and I have quite a bit of length of paracord, 550 cord, just in case I need to tie up anything, shore up anything, fix guy lines that break or anything like that. So we're prepared for that, and that doesn't take up that much space. Next to that, we have a Sawyer water filter and bags and our filtration. I believe that I do have enough water for the entire weekend that I'm bringing with me, between the 3-liter Camelback and the 2 canteens. That puts me close to 5 liters of water. So I believe I'm going to have enough water, but if I don't, I do have the Sawyer filtration system, and there's going to be plenty of sources of water on this hike. Next to that here, these are water shoes because there may be water crossings where I'm going to have to take off my boots because the water will be over the top of the boots and I don't want to get water inside my Gore-Tex boots. As I mentioned before, if they get wet, it takes them forever to dry and I don't want to do that. These are also going to double as camp shoes for comfortable camp shoes. Next to that is insect repellent and sunscreen, so protection products like that. You'll see I'm bringing a cigar. I'm going to enjoy a cigar once I get a fire lit, since it's not supposed to rain tomorrow night. Hopefully I can get a fire lit, and after dinner, while I'm relaxing, I'll be able to smoke a cigar, and that'll be the topper of a good first night for my first hike. Next to that, you'll see a case. I am 51 years old and I need reading glasses. So those are going to help with any of the things that I have if I have to read instructions. My map is pretty small print, so if my battery runs out on my phone and I can't enlarge my map on my phone, the reading glasses are going to help me read the map that I have, that is my paper map. And underneath that, I actually have a Write in the Rain journal because I'm going to be journaling this as well as documenting it, hopefully a lot on these videos, and if not in pictures, but also from my journal. Below that, I do have a trail hiking med kit. I have supplemented this med kit, so these, beware, a lot of your outdoor activities med kits are missing certain things. They don't have tourniquets. So I bought a tourniquet and I put a tourniquet in here. I have a roll of waterproof gauze tape that I put in here, as well as moleskin. Now, some of these med kits do contain moleskins because that is a popular thing to use for any blisters that are encountered during hiking. So it may have that, but I have extra, so that helps. Then I have a rain hat. This is my boonie hat that is a rain hat, and I have rain pants, and I have a pair of gloves that are waterproof as well. Now, for this rain gear, I did purchase this Nikwax tent and gear waterproof, solar proof, so it actually protects from UVA deterioration of materials, but it's also waterproofing for any DWR waterproofing or Gore-Tex waterproofing, that it aids the breathability and aids the water repellency of any water repellent breathable materials. So it's very good to use. Used it on my hat and used it on my Talisphere, REI Talisphere rain jacket. That is my shell that it may get some use tomorrow, so I made sure that I did put that Nikwax, not that it needed it and not that I was having any problems with it, but better safe than sorry. So that is my rain gear that I'm going to have. So that's most everything that's going to go in my pack. Of course, the hiking boots are going to be on my feet. And then if we go over here, I have my clothing. And so not only do I have clothing that I'm going to wear, so I have an Eastern Mountain Sports Techwick t-shirt. It's going to be in the 70s. I'm imagining that pack is going to be around 40 to 45 pounds. I'm hoping it's not more than that. I will be doing a video on showing the weight of that pack once I get it packed. But still, that's going to be plenty of weight that even with temperatures in the 70s, it's going to get pretty warm. And Eastern Mountain Sports, these are convertible pants. So if I get too warm, I will be able to zip off the legs and make them shorts. Remember, I do have the outdoor research full-length gaiters because I'm going to be in some swampy areas. So even if I'm in shorts, I will have the gaiters to protect my lower legs as well as to help prevent any extra moisture or water from getting into the top of my boots. I have several pairs of socks, so each day I'm going to start out with a pair of sport socks, and then I'm probably going to change my socks halfway through or a little more than halfway through the hike, each day's hike, into a thick, fully cushioned hiking sock, which I have there. I have an extra Eastern Mountain Sports Techwick tee, just in case the one from the first day gets completely soaked and is not dry on the next day. Then I have another one. This also may double as a comfort shirt for my campsite. I have a pair of Marmot hiking shorts. Those are probably going to be what I wear when I'm in my campsite. And then as backups, I have an extra pair of hiking pants. These are Zion Bryan pants, which are excellent. They have excellent breathability. They have a durable water repellency, DWR coating, very good hiking pants. And so these will stay in my pack just in case I need them. I have a full set of Helly Hansen long underwear. So I have the top and the bottoms here, just in case it gets a little more chilly than I expect, or just in case I'm not as comfortable in my 55-degree sleeping bag as I expect to be. And then I suppose it's going to be in the 60s, possibly low 60s at night. So I have a mid-weight fleece that I'm also going to be able to wear. Now, if I get a good fire going, I may not need to wear the fleece. And all of the clothing that I'm not going to be wearing is going to go into a Gobi Gear stuff sack. And this is a segmented, I don't know if you can see in here, there are sections in this. So it's a segmented compression stuff sack, which is really cool because it enables you to organize how your whatever you put in your stuff sack is in there, and it makes things a lot easier to find and more quick to pull out when you need them. So those are the main things that I am going to be taking on this hike, and hopefully everything's going to go well and I'm not going to have any problems. It is going to be a challenge. I haven't hiked 10 miles in a day in a long period of time. I've gone 6 to 8, and that is a good thing because I want to challenge myself and I want to see what my ability is to do back-to-back days. It's only 2 days, so I can persevere through just about anything. And I'm going to keep everyone up to date on everything that I'm doing and how everything's going. So I hope you'll join this ride with me, and I will talk to you soon.